What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
Football is a 20th century technological struggle.
I've eaten a river of liver and an ocean of fish.
I would not object to
The hanging curveball, high fiber, good scotch.
Just a bit outside.
Hello everyone, this is Benj watching. I'm Kevin Benjamin, coming to you from beautiful, sunny, 82 degrees, Tampa, Florida, right in front of beautiful Raymond James Stadium, the home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Super Bowl champions of 2002. They're going to make another run for the 2020 season, if we have a 20 season, because of the situation. Now, I'm off Himes, right near the stadium here. It's 82 degrees. I'm sweating a little bit, got my Gatorade, got the book I'm going to plug, obviously. We'll talk about that in a minute. Of course, another reason why everybody hates the state of Florida, because Tom Brady is coming to the Bucs, but we'll get into that in a little bit, maybe in the next segment. Firstly, let's talk about Tom Brady. Sorry about the cars. They're going to be making a little bit of noise while they come by. I don't want to be too far onto the Bucs property, so I'm just kind of being casual, nonchalant, trying to give you a little information. So, okay, so Brady signed a $50 million two-year deal. He's got $9 million of incentives. That means he can make up to $59 million for 2 years. A lot of people are upset that Jameis Winston is not on the team anymore, and I'm just going to say it's a moot point. He had 30 interceptions last year. Tom Brady compared to Jameis Winston. I'm not even going to start comparing. I'm just going to say that since Tom Brady is coming here, there's a really good possibility that we can get to the NFC Championship game. The hardest thing about getting to that game is obviously winning or even making the playoffs, being in obviously the most arguably the toughest division now in the NFL is the NFC South. You got Drew Brees and the Saints. You got Matt Ryan and the Falcons. And you got Teddy Bridgewater, who backed up Brees last year, won 5 games, and now is the starter for the Panthers. So now you got those three, along with Tom Brady, the most difficult division in all of the NFL in a long time. I mean, it's just the amount of talent at quarterback up there is just, down there is just amazing. Now, the guy's won 6 Super Bowls, and I've been on Facebook. I belong to a few Buccaneers Facebook groups, and it's a 50-50 thing. A lot of people are kind of upset that they didn't give Jameis another shot. 5 years, 28-42 record. Bye, Jameis. Take your crab legs and adios, amigos, and I wish you best of luck with your new team. So let's move on. And as Bucs fans, all we have really are like 1 or 2 or 3 super highlights since 1976. Got the team in 76. They went 0-14 with Gators legend Steve Spurrier as the quarterback. He sucked. Only played a little bit. I don't even think he played any in 77. They lost like 6 or 7 more games, so they were like 0-20, 0-21 before they even won a game. And then in 79, they played the Rams in the NFC Championship game, but that was a great defense anchored by Leroy Selman, the Hall of Famer. Leroy would be so happy that Tom Brady is here. I gotta tell you, I knew Leroy pretty well. When I anchored at ABC in Sarasota, he used to come up and sit on set with me before the season to try to sell season tickets. He was my favorite Buccaneer, and it's just too bad that he's not around to see. But rest in peace, Leroy. We still love you. Tom Brady being here is like a whole new high for sports fans. Now, since the NBA and MLB spring training is canceled, NHL is canceled because of the corona situation, all we really have now is sports fans, NFL fans, is to talk about free agency. And Tom Brady, I didn't think it was going to happen. I'll be the first one. I was on Facebook saying there is absolutely no way that the 6-time Super Bowl champion is going to come to piddly little Tampa Bay with, hadn't been in playoffs in like 10 years. 2010, I think, against the Redskins. And then it was like 2002 when they won the Super Bowl. So we really don't have that many prolific events, situations as Bucs fans to enjoy our history. There's just some scattered things here and there. Now, granted, we got some Hall of Famers, Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, Tony Dungy, obviously, and of course it was Tony Dungy's team who was the coach before Gruden, so it was Gruden who took Tony Dungy's team to the Super Bowl, and I talk about that in my book, The Stigma of Sports in Florida. You can check it out on Amazon. Back to Tom Brady. Now, a lot of skeptics, especially like on the sports networks, and I got a siren coming, so I'm probably going to make a break for a minute here to take a break. So give me a second. I'm going to let the siren go by, and then I'll come back in just a minute. Okay, the fire engine went by, so now I want to talk about the offensive weapons that Tom Brady has to throw to. On the wide receiver core, you have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Mike Evans is, in my opinion, the third greatest current wide receiver in the NFL. Julio Jones with the Falcons, Larry Fitzgerald with the Cardinals, Mike Evans with the Bucs. You got Chris Godwin also playing wide receiver. You got Cameron Brate and O.J. Howard as the tight ends. And a big truck just went by, so I want to tell you, you know that Tom Brady loved his tight ends, especially Rob Gronkowski. So if somehow Howard can fit that I don't give a crap about anything attitude, go up the middle, 10, 15 yards up the middle, let his wide receivers go out on the posts or on the outside, and that way they won't get hurt. Tom Brady, the only thing he really needs now is a good running back and a good offensive line. And I'm going to be the first to tell you that if the Bucs do not draft some kind of offensive line help, Tom Brady's going to get killed. Not get killed and make poor decisions like Jameis Winston did, because Jameis Winston just didn't understand the pressure and the mentality to deal with pressure situations like Tom Brady. So if the offensive line doesn't get better, Tom Brady is going to run for his life, but he's going to get rid of the ball instead of taking a sack, get rid of the ball instead of throwing a pick too high over his wide receiver, pick six, Jameis Winston, boom. Bucs lose. I mean, we don't want that in Tampa Bay now, and because Tom Brady is such a stickler on making sure everybody runs specific, exact timing routes to perfection, I just don't see the players. Put it this way, okay? If I go to ESPN, okay, and one of my mentors is Steve Levy. I met him a long time ago, and I got to sit on set with Steve Levy. My mentality, my confidence will be through the roof, okay? Now, their confidence now that Tom Brady is going to be the one that's throwing the ball is through the roof. So, you know, it's just going to be, if Tom Brady just doesn't get enough, I can't even explain this any more than I am. It's dire that they pick up a good offensive lineman in the first round with their first pick, just to show Brady that they have tried. Now they signed, I think, John Haig from the Jets. I think he was in the Jets or another team yesterday and the day before. So he's pretty good offensive lineman. What they had last year with Jameis sucked. Okay, so they got to revamp the whole offensive line. So it's a good start with Haig. But they got to pick somebody in the first round. Second round, I mean, take a chance on the second round offensive lineman too. They got to do something. They should just be thinking, how do I protect this guy, Tom Brady? Because let me tell you, if Tom Brady gets hurt from an offensive lineman not making a play, then what? Then what? I don't even want to talk about it. Okay, so you got to shore up the offensive line situation. Now, the Bucs defense, Shaq Barrett led the league in sacks last year. I'm not even going to talk about the Bucs defense. I think that is a good reason why Tom came to the Bucs, because he saw, listen, they got such a solid defense, and they're just a player or two away on offense to get this thing going. And I see them finishing, realistically, I'm going to have them winning 11 games. A lot of people may say that's a little bit too much, maybe 9-7. It's just that I think that Brady's confidence distribution factor is so much more than people can imagine. So that's pretty much it for now. I don't want to dwell on Tommy too much. I'm just so excited that he's going to be here. But I also want to talk about the state of the NFL with the corona and sports and everything. So in my next segment, I'm going to talk about how the economic impact and how everybody is affected sports-wise, because I'm going out of my friggin' mind not having March Madness going on, not having the Tampa Bay Lightning going on, not having the Orlando Magic going on. It's frustrating to not be able to... Listen, I'm not an NBA fan, okay, and I don't watch much hockey, but I love watching the highlights, and now we're watching SportsCenter with no highlights and just a bunch of talking heads like me talking about how crappy it is not to have sports going on, and what if we don't have a season in the NFL come fall. So we'll talk about what's next with the corona situation, and I'm more than happy to come to you again. And we're here at Tampa, in beautiful Tampa, Florida. It's like 85 degrees now. I'm sweating, rolling down the back. Social distancing, everyone. I can't make it more clear. Get away from people, but you can still go outside and have fun. It's beautiful. It's like 85 degrees, and I'm talking to you about the greatest player to have ever played the NFL, Tom Brady, and he's coming to Tampa to play for the Bucs. It's awesome being somebody from the state of Florida who grew up in South Florida, went to the University of Florida, covered the Gators, started my broadcasting career in Southeast Alabama, got to cover Florida State. So there's a lot of really good stuff in here. I would love for you to catch up on it. If you want an autographed copy, just message me and, you know, put a check in the mail or Venmo or something, and we can figure something out. But I want all my friends to read this book that I personally wrote, and I thanked a lot of you guys back here about, thank you very much for your help, because I couldn't have done it without you. So The Stigma of Sports in Florida, you can get it on Amazon, ebook or paperback. That's it for now from Raymond James Stadium in beautiful Tampa Bay, Florida. Adios, people. This is Benj watching, and I want to thank Mike Neighbors for giving me the name, because I racked my brain trying to think of a good, catchy name for my video podcast or my podcast in general. And Mike Neighbors, a good friend of mine from way back at the University of Florida, who covers the Saints and the Buccaneers currently, one of the best reporters I've ever met, and I'm so proud to be his friend. Mike, this is Benj watching. Everybody, tune in next time. Adios. See ya.